Hi there guys, welcome back to my channel, man. Great to be back with another video, guys, on map making, and this time around we're going to have another look at the shop, how it works and how to set it up. I've made a previous video on the shop, and it was very early in FS22, and I'm not too sure if I explained everything nicely on that video, so I'm going to actually just redo a video on the shop and just help you guys and help me just explaining how this thing operates, the shop. Now the shop and the what do you call it, the animal dealer, this one here is actually, both of them are hotspots. So they're not really placeables, they are hotspots. It's just triggers that sit on the map that you configure, and that's basically their purpose. They are two hotspots, and that is the only two hotspots that is going, well, apart from the normal placeables. They are the two hotspots that goes into your map.xml, not part of your placeable.xml. So don't get confused with the shop, or the vehicle shop as they call it, the vehicle shop trigger, the vehicle shop, there it is. Don't get confused with that and the workshop. The vehicle selling station or the workshop is different than the vehicle shop. Alright, so it's two different things, guys, and I wanted to sort of set the difference in this video, and also just show you how to configure the shop properly. Alright, it's actually very simple, guys, to set up a shop in your game, and I'm going to do that in this video, hopefully shed some light on that. But before we get to that, if this is your first time on the channel, a warm welcome. And thank you so much for joining. Just hit that subscribe now. I really appreciate that. And also, if you do like my content, give it a like, and also, yeah, do share. I really appreciate it. Great, guys. So let us have a look quickly. I'm here on my, it's my start map. It's just a 2x start map that I've built that is available for download from my website. And this is just a blank map with nothing on it. You can see it's got some stuff on it, but I mean, it's all the basics for you to start your own map on, but it's a 2x map. All right, so if you're new to the game and you want to just get a start map to do your own map on, just go ahead with this. I also made a playable version of this, I believe. I can't really remember. Can quickly have a look, but you can look at it at my website. All my downloads is on my website, guys. Just go to my website and go to downloads, FS22 downloads, and then everything's in there. If you're still on FS19, there's a whole page of FS19 downloads too, with some amazing maps as well still in FS19. Anyway, which I still need to convert, but anyway, we'll get there in time. Anyways, guys, so the vehicle shop. Let's have a look first how this thing is set up. All right, the vehicle shop is a whole transform that you import into your map. So it's as simple as this, guys. I'm going to show you how to do it exactly. Right click, I'm just going to open in a new window. So you go to your farming simulator installation directory, not your documents one where your game saves are on that, but the installation directory. Very important. You go to data, you go to placeables, and you go to maps, placeables, map, no, sorry, you have to go to maps first, and then there's 3 of them to choose from. You can choose any one of them, doesn't matter, all the shops are the same. Alright, so I'm just going to grab the Alpine map, and then we're going to go to the placeables.xml, here it is. We're going to open that, alright. So we're going to have that open, from garage, we'll get to that later. And then we're going to go to, that is this, just want to open the map as well. So 2 things we're going to do. I'm going to open the XML for that, as well as the actual map. So we're going to open the map as well to export the shop. Because you want to take the i3D for the shop. Not really the i3D, but just to get the shop into your map, you need to export the i3D. I'm going to show you that process now. So it's simple as pie, guys. So you find the vehicle shop in your, it's normally under gameplay in all 3 maps, and you just click on the vehicle shop, the whole transform. Don't open it, just leave it alone. Click on it, go file, export with files, and then you're going to go to your map directory. So I'm going to go to my mods folder, go into start map, go to maps, map Alpine, and I'm going to go to placeables, and I'm going to find vehicle shop and fuel. I just want to create a new one in here. Go new folder, and I'm just going to call this vehicle shop. Now this is just my own directory. You can create what you want there. I'm just calling it vehicle shop, and in here I'm just going to say shop. The name is not important because we're going to go and delete it again once we've done with it. When it gets to this questions, you say yes to both of them because you want to go to the in-game directory, and you also want to keep all the relative paths. Once you've done that, you can close the map. You're finished with the whole map. You don't have to do anything else in there. Alright, so now we're going to go back to our map, which is also still open. Remember, we started here. And now, for now, there is a vehicle shop, but I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to make as if there wasn't one in my map. So now there isn't one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to import, and I'm going to import that one that we've saved. There it is. It's start map, maps, map Alpine, placeables, vehicle shop, shop i3D. All right. Remember, I saved it as shop, and now I just open it up. Sorry, I obviously have to click on it, and you'll see it will drop my vehicle shop in my map. And now I want to put this into gameplay. So what I'm going to do is just minimize this a bit, and I'm going to click on this with my middle mouse button and drag it up to gameplay, and it will drop it in gameplay. There it is. Okay, that's just a short way of doing it. Or you can select it, Control X, click on gameplay, Control V, and there you go. It will paste it for you in the transform. Now, believe it or not, guys, that was all. And now you can actually go back to your map. This is mine, start map, maps, map Alpine. And I'm going to go into placeables, and that vehicle shop that I've saved, that one, I can now delete this whole i3D because it's now inside my map, and it's working and it's fine because I've actually just transferred the i3D into my map, and then at the questions I said yes to both of them, which links everything to the main map of the in-game map. You cannot do this with any other maps except for the in-game ones. If you wanna export from another map, it's a different process, guys. You're gonna have to have a look at my video on that because it's a totally different process. You can't follow this for any other map than the in-game map, because you can't take a shop from another map and put it in yours. Actually you can, but then you can't delete the directory as I've just done now. You know, you have to leave the i3D in there, and also you can't keep the relative paths. So it's a different process, guys. Don't even try that. Just take the shop from the in-game and all be fine. Okay, now that we have the shop in our map, all right, the next thing we want to do is set it up in our XML file. So now we're going to go to our XML files because now we have it in the map. I think let's first, before we go to the XML, let's first finish setting up the shop. Say for instance, now you have a building that you want to place somewhere. It doesn't matter what kind of building. It can be any building. The building isn't relevant to the trigger or the game or whatever, because the shop, like I said, is just a trigger. So I'm going to take, for instance, I've got a dealership building here. Yes. All right. So I'm going to import a dealership building that I've got as a placeable. So I'm just going to give us a building just to work with, because otherwise it's just going to be a trigger sitting out there in the middle of nowhere. So placeables, dealership. I'm just bringing in a placeable just to have a reference, you know. So vehicle dealer, I'm just going to place it down, and there it is. There's a vehicle shop, and there's no triggers on this, guys. It's just a building. It's got no workings to it. Buildings don't have any triggers. Some buildings do, but I mean, buildings normally is not a working thing. It's the trigger of the shop that makes the thing work and show up on your PDA and everything. All right, so that is what we're going to do now. So the vehicle shop, you leave at 0, the main transform, but the vehicle shop trigger is the one that you want to move. So all you do now is find the spot where you want the trigger to be. I'm going to put it here in front of the door because that's probably the appropriate spot for it. Control and B, place it there like that, and there it is, guys. All right, now for the vehicle shop, you have normally 1 or 2 or 3 of these store spawn place start and ends. Now what that is when you buy vehicles, they normally, if you buy more than one, they normally come stand in a queue, and that is what this store spawn place is. So how to place that is very simple. You take the first one, the start, you click on it, Control and B, place it down, and normally I just want to see where the other end is. Yes, normally the red arrow points to the end of it, to the end. So all you're going to do is, if you want to rotate it, don't Control B on this end, go to start and just rotate the start. So if you want to rotate it 90 degrees, for instance, you can do it here 90 degrees, and then you'll see the end is already moved with it, you know. So the height of this is not really relevant, but the position is relevant. All right, so I'm going to go Control Z there because it was sort of in the right spot, and then you can move the end around with the arrows if you want it to be shorter or longer or whatever. All right, so that is this is the spawn of the vehicle. So your vehicles is going to spawn here, and let's just have a look at the blue arrow. I'm sure the blue arrow points to the direction of what the vehicle is standing at. So if you look at this, the vehicle is going to point this way. I'm sure we'll check it in game, but let's just verify that to be sure. All right, and that, my friends, is everything that's needed to place the vehicle in or the vehicle shop. All right, so the next thing, guys, is your XML file. Now that is the thing that makes this vehicle shop work, this this trigger and spawn point. If you don't have the vehicle shop in the XML, you will not find the listen, not in the XML. It's in the XML, the map XML, because the vehicle shop is actually a hotspot, guys. It's not a placeable, it's a hotspot. All right, the same with the animal load triggers. It's the same thing, they're both hotspots. So the same process I'm doing here, you can do for the animal load triggers. It's exactly the same process, except for the names are different. So obviously this is vehicle shop and that is animal load trigger. So you can follow the same process to do your animals, or you can do the vehicle shop in the same way. All right, like I'm showing you now. All right, so now we're going to open our XML, guys. And this one is the Alpine XML. I actually opened that unnecessary because we're not going to look at the vehicle selling station. We want to have the map XML. Now the map XML, map Alpine, map XML, there it is. All right, so this is what we want. The map XML has got the hotspots in it. All right, so there it is. This is the animal dealer one, and here you can see that map Alpine doesn't have the hotspot for the shop, so we can go to, and this is what confused me in the beginning. I remember when I made the video, in my first video on the shop, because the Alpine didn't have one, I was confused in the process. So I went another route, which actually worked out at the end, but it's so much more complicated. You know, this is so much easier. So what we're going to do is open the US one instead of the Alpine one. Just go in here, find the map XML, and you see there is your shop. All right, so there's a hotspot section in your map XML, and the shop is in there, the vehicle shop. So you click and select that whole line, Control C, go to your map, and I'm again at placeables. Where's my map XML? Go to my map, map Alpine, map XML, there it is. Okay, so mine is on the right. I'm going to move mine to the left just to make sure. Start map is my map, maps, map Alpine, map XML, and this one should be the map US one from which we've copied. All right, so we've copied this line, so I can close this one now and go into mine. Oh, sorry, mine I've already put it in because remember I had a shop already. So all you do then, the map Alpine doesn't have one, so you just can overwrite it, Control and V, and then all we need to do now is update the world position and the teleport world position. Now the world position, please guys, make a note of this. It's very important. It only has X and Y, X and Z axis position. It doesn't have the Y in it. But the teleport does have the height. There's the height. The 0 is the height. All right. So very important on both of these, for the animal and for the teleport. So don't try and put 3 in here. You'll have problems. It won't work. Then only needs to be an X and Z in your world position. All right. So here we go. So what we're going to do now, to put the shop, immediately you'll think you need to put that in there, but remember this is at 0, so you can't put that in there. That's not the position for the shop. You're going to go to the vehicle shop trigger, which is that little icon bluey thing there, and don't select the trigger here. You select the whole transform for the vehicle shop trigger. That's the one you take, and then here is your position data, you see. So you grab the X, Control C, go into your XML, overwrite the X. Remember now, stick to the 2. The world position only have the 2. Alright, so that's your shop. So that's our first, that's our X. Now we go back to the map, grab our Z, Control and C. I don't know why they didn't just put here X, Y, X and Z in the description, but anyway, that's just how it is. You know, we just have to make a note of that and remember that. Alright, now for the teleport world position, you can put all 3 in, X, Y and Z. So we're going to go in here. This one is simple. You select the first one, press Control, Shift and C for copy. So it will copy all 3 of them for you. And you come here, you select all 3 of them like that, and you press Control and V, and it will overwrite it, and there you go. All 3 of them are in there. Don't worry about the lots of numbers. It's fine. Doesn't make a difference. Alright. Now we're going to save. I just want to close here. Better exit Discord, because otherwise we're going to get gluk all the time here while we're trying to make a video. Excellent. Alright, so in here, we're going to save the map, and we're quickly going to go in game and have a look. Alright. Now it's important to know, guys, that did it now save? Yes, it's saved. Go in here, quickly Farming Simulator. It's important to test this and make sure that everything works and is in place. So now we have a building as a reference, because if we didn't have a building, the icon could be anywhere in the map, we wouldn't have known, because it's a blank map, there's nothing on it, we wouldn't have known if the thing is in the right spot, you know. So I'm sure this is my blank map, so let's just have a look there, quickly check it out. I'm sure it will be fine. So that's the thing to remember, guys, is your shop and your animal dealer is part of the hotspots, which are in your map.xml. It's not part of the placeables. Alright, so escape. So let's have a look at the shop, vehicle shop. There it is on the map. And if we go visit, it should be right in front of the door, exactly where we placed it. And now if we go here and we press R, we get the shop. Alright, so that is our vehicle shop done and dusted. And now if we buy something, let's just buy a tractor. I wanted to see what direction it's going to stand in, you know. So let's just select the tractor. Someone might take a Massey. I hope it's not over 100 grand. Where's the price for it? Oh yeah, it's not. Good, excellent. Okay, so now I hit the tilde key by accident. And there it is, guys. Remember I said the blue is pointing towards the direction of the tractor, so that's something to remember. And the red points to the end. So if you have a queue of 10 vehicles, if you bought 10 items like plows and seeders and trailers and whatever, they will queue here next to each other up to the end there. And when it gets to the end, it will give you a warning, there's no more space, clear some space at the shop or whatever, you know. So that is basically the shop done and dusted, guys. And like I said, you can use this exact same process and do your animal dealer as well. So follow the same steps from the start. Instead of exporting the shop, you just export the animal loading trigger. Did I close the map? No, it's still open. Wonderful. I can quickly show you. I think the animal loading trigger, you take the whole transform, export it, and then import it in, and Bob's your uncle, it will work. The same process as we've just done in game for the vehicle shop. Yeah, that's how simple and easy it is, guys. Nothing to it. All right. I hope it's been informative and helpful. There's a lot of guys that has been confused or struggling with this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the vehicle selling station. Now, don't confuse the vehicle selling station. You can't bring a tractor and pull it up to this icon and sell it. This is not the place where you sell it. Normally the shop will have a vehicle selling station onto it, but a lot of guys get confused with that. Let me quickly just escape here and close up, and then we go back into the editor and show you the vehicle selling station. Now the vehicle selling station, guys, is not part of the shop. That's a placeable. It's not a hotspot. Not the same as the shop. And you'll notice that there's no vehicle selling station in this. I wonder if there's even one on the map. Triggers, gameplay, a vehicle dealer. That's just a placeable. Alright, so let us do the vehicle selling station as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a look at your in-game ones. Sorry, man. I'm clicking stuff here that's just not working. Alright, so you're going to go into your in-game maps, open its placeable. Because this map is on the Alpine map, this thing, I'll stick to the Alpine map for this. It's not ideal, but it doesn't matter which one you take. But just for reference, let us use, because that one is on the Alpine map, let's use the US one, like I did now with that other one. So we're going to go to open the placeables for the map US. So there it is, map US placeables, and find the vehicle selling station. Now the vehicle selling station is actually your workshop on the farm. Does the same thing. It's exactly the same trigger. Your workshop on the farm, as well as at your vehicle shop, the vehicle selling station, where you can repair your vehicles and sell it. They both use the same trigger, so you can have this same trigger on your farm as well as at your vehicle shop in town. That is the vehicle selling station. I'm just going to see if I can find it here. Vehicle selling station. Mostly. There we go, selling station vehicles. There it is. Alright, so we're going to grab this line from here and then Control C, go to our placeable, our map, find our map, start map, maps, map, Alpine, find our placeables.xml. There it is. And you'll see this placeables is, oh, I've actually had some stuff in here. So our placeables is still empty. That's good. I'll just put it in there. And now we have the vehicle selling station working, or in our placeables. All right, but we're not done with that. We still need to bring the i3D in, or the trigger into the map. All right, which will have two things to it. First of all, find a spot where we can park it. For fun, I'm just going to put it in this open spot here. All right, so first thing you want to do is put a trigger marker down. So you'll find your trigger markers. If you don't have, just export from the in-game map. But here it is, vehicle selling trigger. Control B. It's just a trigger marker, guys. This is just markers on the ground. It's 4 chevron icon thingamabobbies to indicate on the ground where the trigger is, you know. So in FS19 this was quite handy because there were no icons. But in today's version, or FS22, we have all these nifty icons hovering in the air, you know. So you don't really have to have this chevrons anymore, but they're still handy and it looks cool, you know. So so there it is. So just put some chevrons down on the ground, and this is handy in the case of when you want to let me just make this 45 like so it's nice and square, and I do that, guys, so I can align my trigger as well to 45, you know. So, what did I do now? Sorry, it's not the rotation. The rotation I wanted to do is 90. Don't worry about the 45 I've changed there, guys. That's on the positioning. I want to just have the rotation good so that I can align my trigger nice and easy, you know. So I'll show you now. So all you do now, guys, is have a look at the XML. It says data, placeables, map US, selling station vehicles, selling station.xml. Now, where the XML is, there will always be an i3D as well. So we're going to import that i3D, which is the trigger. Because this XML actually loads the trigger, the i3D. All right. So what we're going to do is go into File, Import. We're going to go into the in-game map, the actual map, Data, Maps. Sorry, it's Placeables, Map US, and then we had Vehicle, Selling Station Vehicles. There it is, and there's the R3D. You see, so now what it's going to do is going to bring in this Selling Station Vehicles R3D, and this one is going to, I'm just going to quickly think now. I'm actually going to delete this out of the map, so we don't need it in the map. I just want the positioning data for it. So we're going to go Control B, drop it on there. And what's nice now is I can now just align it nicely here on the corners. Make sure it's sitting pretty over the chevrons, and then the rotation here is 0, 0, 0, so that's all right. I don't even have to do a 90-degree on that. So there we go, guys. It looks like it needs to go a little bit this way. It's not important that it's that precise, you know, but it's there. All right. So now, guys, we're going to, the only reason why we want this in the map is because we want this for the trigger. We need this positioning data for the trigger. So we're going to go here, press Control, Shift, and C to copy. That copy all three for us. We're going into our XML that we've copied, and we overwrite the positioning data there. Control and V. All right. And remember, our rotation was 0, 0, 0. So we just make a note of that and just change this also to 0, 0, 0, because otherwise you're going to get a problem there. Now, if you should place this trigger on your farm, you need to put a default and farm ID in there. Default farm property true and farm ID 1. You need to copy that from your XML in the placeables XML from the map US or wherever, doesn't matter. You can take it from anyone as long as you get the default farm property and farm ID 1 in there. They will all have it somewhere in the XML. Where is it? There's a default farm property farm ID. So you need that in your XML. If you put that on your farm and you want that trigger to be part of the farm, you need to put that in there. I'm just going to undo that because I didn't copy that now. But you need to put that default farm property true and farm ID 1 in there if you want it part of the farm. But in this case, it's part of the shop or part of stuff that's not owned by you as a player. So it doesn't need that in there. You just leave it like that. All right. So now that we have all that sorted, one more thing we have to do, we have to put store data for this. It needs to be, there need to be store data for it. So because it's an in-game thing, I've found that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you can go into the map US, same place, same this in-game thing, and open the store items and find the line. It's the same line that we just have for the vehicle selling station vehicles. There it is. Copy that line, Control C, and now we need to go to our map again and put it into our map store items. You can either put it in the store items or you can put it in the mod disk of your map. I prefer the mod disk because there's less problems with the mod disk. So if you go to your maps mod disk and create the store items in here, that's the proper way to do it these days. After I've had so many problems with the store items XML, it's actually better to have your store items in here. So all you will do is grab the store item start. I'm going to also copy that line, Control C, go into my mod disk, Control V. So now we have a start for the store items, but you can see if I click on it, it doesn't go purple. It's supposed to do that, the start and the end. So we need to copy the end as well, which is right at the bottom. Copy that line, Control C, bring it over to the mod disk, Control V, and there it is. Now we have a store item section in our mod disk. That's the right spot for it. And we can now just go up here. Oh, that's the trees and stuff. All right. And just delete that line in here because now we have one in our mod disk now. Right, so store items, very nice. It doesn't matter as long as you don't have one here and also one in the store items. It will be fine, you know. Alright, so now that should sort out our map US. I just want to close that. Our placeables is now done. We have a store item for it, so that shouldn't give any problems or errors. And I think we can quickly test our selling station vehicles. Alright, and now for the map, because you have now a choice, guys. Do you want to leave this trigger in the map, or do you want to just take it out of the map, because we've already done with it? Alright, so we can actually just go and delete this trigger like so, or you can leave it there. If you want to leave it, you have to put it in the placeholders folder. That way you can leave it in the map, still have it visible. Now at the moment it's gone, and you can still have it visible to work around it. But if you don't want it in the map anymore, and you're done and you're happy with what you've done here, you can delete it out of the map. I normally leave my stuff in the placeholders folder. Very simple and easy, because then at the end, when I'm finished with my map, at the very end, I've done 10 versions of my map and I'm happy with the map, I can just delete the whole placeholders folder with everything in it, because they are getting loaded via XML here by the placeables. You see, the placeables loads all the stuff that doesn't need to be in the map, you know. So alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just put my I'm going to leave my vehicle shop trigger out. So I'm going to save the map like that, just fine, and go into the game, and let's quickly test the vehicle sell point, or the vehicle selling station, or the workshop. It's actually the workshop trigger as well for your farm. There's no difference. It's exactly the same trigger that they've used for both of them. Test map, it's test map, I think. No, it's not test map. It is this one. Yeah, my start map. All right. Great. So I've actually wanted to see if there's any trigger problems or whatever. Confirm. I just want to quickly see. I think this is placeable. Those little things that you have to search for. Okay, farmland. I haven't set up the farmland. Yes. Okay, good. All right, so that is fine. Because obviously it's a blank map. There's no farmland on it. All right. So now what we need to check is, where is our shop again? We're going to go visit our shop, and we should have our trigger here. There it is. Can I get over this fence? Yes, I can. And quite nifty, you can't see the trigger, but it is there. And if you press here, the R on that, you'll see it tells you there's nothing to repair or nothing to sell, or nothing to repaint or whatever. So this will be the same trigger system you use on your farm for a vehicle shop or a workshop. Alright, so that will be, if you put a nice building down that doesn't have a workshop trigger, you can put this same vehicle shop, selling station vehicles or whatever they call it, down as a workshop, and you can customize your vehicles on the farm. But just to remember, it needs to have that default farm value true, as well as farm ID 1 there, to make it part of your default farm. To test it, guys, let's just have a quick browse. I'm going to just buy us a tractor again. I'll just take this little thing of a boppy and jump into it, and then just drive it over the trigger. Actually, it's already parked halfway on the trigger, and now we can just go in here, press R, and there it is, working like a bomb. I can customize it, put new tires on, whatever. Same thing you do on the farm with your workshop. Alright, so don't get confused, guys. The vehicle shop, that one there, is not the same as the selling station. The selling station or the workshop. Alright, they call it a workshop, but the trigger is called selling station vehicles. Alright, and it's on all three maps, selling station vehicles, and it's not part of the shop. It's a placeable trigger where the shop is a hotspot, as well as the animal dealer is also a hotspot. Well, guys, I hope it's been informative, and I hope it shed some light on the whole process and the differences between all this, and that was it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Cheers.